What's going on, guys? My name is Opai Senpai, and last week we asked you guys to give me your questions because we're gonna have Ken Xyro on the show. He is a professional translator who's done a lot of anime and a lot of different shows. So you guys had a lot of questions, and now we read every single question. We took the best of the best, and now it's time for an interview with the one and only Ken Xyro. How you doing, Ken?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, brother. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
So the way this is gonna work out is we have all these questions. I think we had around 62 questions or so, and we made sure to take away all the duplicates.
Okay.
But feel free to answer all of them, and yeah, let's just have a good time. So
Okay.
question number one is coming from a fellow YouTuber, Geekdom 101.
Big deal.
So thank you for contributing to the community, Geekdom. So Geekdom 101 asks, I love Ken Xyro.
I love you
What
too.
ethnicity are you? What ethnicity are you, Ken Xyro?
I am part Chinese and part Indian.
Part Chinese and part Indian.
Yeah.
Oh, the resemblance is not there. I don't see that. Wow, that's awesome. Now, where are you right now? Are you in China
India.
or in India?
India.
You're in India right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I've like grown up like all over the place, so yeah.
This guy's multicultural, multinational.
Yes.
See, that's probably why his translations are so good, because he knows the cultures from all around the world. Thank you for that question, Geekdom. Next question is from Joker. Any tips on how to learn Japanese?
Yes, actually the best way is to just join an institute, but I have my own way. Like they will teach you to learn all the characters at the same time. Like when you learn English, they're gonna tell you to practice writing and learning A, B, C, D, E, F to the Z. What I do is I just pick up like 5 letters every day, like A, B, C, D, E. I write them, learn them. Next day I pick up 5 more, so F, G, H, I, J, like that. So I just read and write one character on one page. Like keep writing till you fill up the page. Keep writing it, and one day you will be able to just write all the characters within an hour. That's just my way.
So that's your way, and doing the Ken Xyro way. How long does it take to get to be able to have a conversation?
Yeah, if you're gonna learn something good, then it's gonna take a time. But if you give it time and you're like regular with it, like practice every day, you're gonna get better in no time. Actually, some people take like years, and still after years they learn new words and stuff. So you just have to begin somewhere.
Nice, perfect. And may I ask, how long did it take you around to learn Japanese?
It's been like years, and still I like learn new words every day. Yeah.
Nice, especially from translating, I bet.
Yes.
So the next question is coming from Maki Pizon, and it says, as a bilingual, I know it's hard to translate the language from the source language to the target language. Do you need to have the exact meaning, or do you need to just get the thought of the words, characters, of the words that the characters are saying, or both?
It doesn't have to be exact. You just have to get across the meaning. Like sometimes they use very specific words, such as like for meat, they will use an exact part of the meat, but most people won't know what that part is. Like there was recently a line that the shank meat was really good, but most people wouldn't know what shank meat is. So you can just simply change it to like beef or chicken or something. You just have to get the meaning across, so it doesn't have to be exact.
Okay, perfect. I think there's because like we said, we read all the questions, and I think there's a follow-up question to that, which we'll see later in the video. Dragon Ball Shinobi asks, big fan of Ken Xyro. Do you rush your subs to get them out first for one of the shows like DBS, or are you careful and accurate with the subs, making sure they are perfect translations?
It depends. Like I do have a deadline of some sort. Like I want to aim at some time that I want to finish this within like 6 hours or 12 hours. But if it is an important episode, deadline doesn't matter. But if it's like a filler sort of episode, and random stuff is happening, then it doesn't matter much. Even if like one line is wrong or there are typos or spelling errors, it doesn't matter as much. But if it is an important episode, then there is no deadline, and I can like wait an extra 6 or 12 hours to just make it right.
Right. So even if it takes longer to get the episode out, you want it to be as perfect as possible.
Depending on the episode and depending on what I'm working on, it doesn't matter if it has mistakes or does it not. That way.
So let me do a follow-up on that. So today is Saturday, June 11th, and the Future Trunks arc is starting tomorrow. So that means being that the Future Trunks arc, that's an important episode, right? Yes. You're gonna try to nail it down on that one.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So now Xiaoho Wang, I hope I say your name right, says, can we do the sub on an iPhone?
I'm actually not sure. I have like 4 phones and none of them is an iPhone, so I'm not really sure. But as long as it can like run a program to sub a video, then you can do it.
Right. I don't like iPhone. I'm not a fan of Apple. Android.
Android. I'm an Android
guy. Yeah. Pansy asks, can you make subs with a tablet or iPad? We kind of already answered that one.
Yes.
Elijah Satafo asks, could you learn how to speak Japanese if you keep doing this, if you keep translating?
Yes, you can. Like, you will learn new words, you will learn new sentences, everything. Every time you're translating, you learn something new. So you will get better if you are working on translating. The best way to learn a language and get better in it is to just use it. You can use it with people, write it or translate, doesn't matter. Just use it and you will get better.
Great. And that's kind of there was another question I saw before where somebody asks, if I don't know Japanese, could I do translations? But it sounds like if they want to do it to practice for themselves.
For practice, but anime is not a good idea to learn Japanese because anime Japanese is different than people that actually use them. Like some anime even uses old Japanese and some anime uses a different Japanese. So it's not a good idea to learn Japanese from anime.
Oh, interesting. So that's not something I ever thought of before. So you pretty much have to be adept at all forms of Japanese.
Yes.
Wow. Now the next question, the animator asks, do you also do manga?
Not really. I might have worked on some, I don't remember many. But no, not really. I can do it, but I don't do.
Okay. Eric Rubio CX asks, do you think DBS is better than Z?
Well, that's very... Well, on DBZ, my favorite arc was Cell and Android arc. And so far, I like Z better than DBS. But if Trunks arc turns out to be better than the Android and Cell saga of Z, then I'll say DBS is better.
Then you say DBS. I'm gonna agree with you on that one. I really like the arc set on DBZ. I feel like they took more risks.
Yes.
Whereas DBS is kind of leaning more towards the younger audience. They're not taking as many risks.
Yes.
But that preview song for the episode 47 was dark.
Yes. Trunks saga can change everything.
Trunks saga could change everything. It's their time to get vengeance for that crappy animation from like early in the season.
Yes.
Now, next question from The Strangest. He asks, do you think you can explain the same translating and subbing process, but for manga? Well, I mean, you don't really do manga.
Yeah, but it's not really that complicated. You just have to scan the images, then clean them, then you have to remove the Japanese text, write the English translations for them, and that's it.
Wow. Okay, very similar.
Yeah.
Now, Goal Killer, he asks, do you translate it yourself or use a program to do it?
Any program, I'm not aware of any program that can accurately translate Japanese or any other language. So I don't recommend using any program. But if I ever get stuck, I just use a dictionary. If I ever get stuck on a word, I just use the dictionary to find the meaning of it. That's it. Better than using a program.
That's true.
Yeah.
And the fact that you use a dictionary is like a testament to you really how you care about accuracy.
Yes.
That's good to hear. Now, Hobo Joe asks, does it matter what kind of font you use? Good question.
It does, because you see some sentences are large. So if you're using a bad font, the lines might turn into 3 layers, first, second, and 3, and that looks really bad on the screen. You don't want 3 and 4 lines of subtitles on the screen. So you have to use a proper size and proper font so that they stay on just 2 lines. That's it.
Right. Now, next question is coming from Cyrus. He asks, English subs seem to be a lot more articulate than what they're actually saying. Since Japanese is a simple language, it's a common practice to conjure a line in the subs for a character using words that aren't explicitly apparent in the raw audio, and is it difficult to keep their characters consistent in doing so?
It is because you see Goku's character and some characters are pretty obvious, like what they are about. Like for example, Kaba is very polite by nature and he speaks in very formal Japanese, but someone else who speaks in formal Japanese is Frieza, but you see their characters are totally different.
Yeah, totally different.
So one line, same line said by Frieza can be very different when said by Kaba. Like for example, Frieza can say, please go ahead and die for me. That will be completely different, and Kaba would say that differently. Same goes for Gohan. Gohan is very polite, but if there is the same line said by these two people, Frieza and Gohan, their translation need to be different to get that across. That they're not actually, Frieza is not actually being polite, he's being like sort of sarcastic. Yes.
That's interesting. Tells you a little bit more about the characters.
Yes.
It's good to know. Thank you, Cyrus, for that question. Volidex Yuing asks, have you ever done a mistake like a typo or bad translation that you only noticed after the official release? And if yes, what was the biggest? Thanks for all the amazing subs.
Yes, it does happen. Like if you have a team working with you, you don't have to worry about it that much, because if you make a mistake, there is a second person, DLC, he will notice it. If he doesn't notice it, there is an editor, he will notice it. If he doesn't, there is a QC after that, they will notice it. But if you're working alone, then it's all on you. Mistakes can happen, and the biggest one, I think mine was, I didn't have any script, so I was going by the audio and I heard it wrong, and I translated a line which said like, I didn't get my wish to, like, I didn't get to wish for an origami, because the word washi is similar to a paper which is used for origami. I confused it with my wish instead of my origami. Yeah.
Wow. Did you get called out on that, or you noticed it yourself?
I noticed.
You got called that?
I got called out, then I just went back and fixed it.
Oh, okay. So you did like an update, like a version 1.2 or something.
Yes.
Perfect. Now let's play Ask. Hey Ken, can you tell me how do you do the timing of the appearance of the subtitles? I really need to know.
Yes, AG sub is your best way to go about it, but there's tons of softwares you can find. There's not a right or wrong way. It's only a matter of what you like and what works best for you. That's it. We have a video recorded about the whole subbing process, and the timing in that we go about in detail, so you'll see in that.
Perfect. Now Abdullah Wahidis asks, how can you be happy all the time, Oppai Senpai? Teach me. Oh, so that's a question for me. My tip, you guys know when you see a baby, right? When you see a baby, what's your initial reaction? Like you smile, right? And you laugh. That's like a natural reaction. So my tip to being happy all the time is, if you're feeling sad or not feeling too good, just smile, just laugh it off. And that's naturally, your body is kind of programmed to feel better from doing that. So that's my tip.
That's nice.
Now, how do you, Electro Crafter asks, how do you and many others learn the different languages?
You just find people who speak them and just talk to them about it. But the best way to actually learn by yourself is joining an institute. There's no other better way.
Right, joining an institute.
Yeah.
Now, Princess Lula asks, how do I make fan subs on Android? Well, kind of already covered that. Krayato asks, how do many people work with the subs?
How many?
Well, basically, yeah. He says, how do many people work with the subs? But I think he means like how many.
Okay, so if you're going in it professionally, they have a whole team. One person is doing the translation, then there is second who is checking the translations, then there is the third who is doing the timing for the subs, then there is the fourth who is doing editing for the English, then there is a fifth who is doing a QC, which is like quality checking, then there is a sixth who does karaoke and all that software stuff. So there's around, and there is a seventh who provides the video and stuff. Yeah, that's called TS provider. So there's like 7 in total. Minimum 7 if you're working with a team.
Wow. Sounds expensive to the translations. Now, Dark Pulsar Dragon 28 asks, how do you find a group willing to do a fan sub for a certain anime?
If you like pay attention to who's done the sub, if they have any credits or something, they might have a link to their IRC channel, or maybe their blog or website or something. They will say that we are hiring people right now, we need people on our team, so just contact us. That's the best way to go about it.
Nice. Perfect. Good tip. Etchy97, how do you make them look as professional as you can?
Professional? Well, best way to do that is make your subtitles appear transparent. Like when people are watching the show, movie or anything, the subtitle shouldn't even be there. People should be focusing more on the video than the subtitle. So for example, you should shorten the sentences as much as possible and not use any difficult long words or any tongue twisters. You don't want people to just pause and see what's actually written there. You just have to, they just have to read it once and focus more on the video part. That's how they look more professional.
Nice, creating a nice natural flow.
Yes.
Between sentence. Great. Now Dom Pregnon asks, how far do you think your work has come since you started, and how much do you think you have improved, or just the speed at which you do work now?
A lot. Like if I look back, even something I've done like 1 month ago, I'll notice things that I would now do differently. So like it's every day you get better, and every day I just change with the language.
Wow, great. Sanad Kadrik asks, how hard is it and how do you become a subber, and how much time also love the bits? Okay, so how much time, how hard is it, and how do you become a subber?
It is hard. Like if you want to be a subber, just go to like Crunchyroll and apply for a job. They might have opening, so you can be translator or any of the other things I mentioned. Like there's 7 people working on a sub. You can be one of those 7. You can apply there, and how hard it is just depends on your skills. For some people it would be easy, some it would be more difficult, and you need at least 4 hours. I'd say 4 hours per episode of your personal time to devote on it.
Wow, it's a lot of time. Let's see. PC Gamer asks, how long do you think DBS will go?
I know this because Rhyme Style and Geekdom, I saw their videos that for a minimum of 70 something episodes, but
72.
Yes, 72. That's the minimum, but if I'm guessing, I'd say 168 if it's going on. I'd say 168 because that's the time when the season will end, so that might be.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Makes sense. Yeah, actually, we did something similar on our channel. So we broke the news 72 episodes, but then we kind of speculated that we really think it's gonna go at least 100, just based on sales, merchandise, and the fact that Future Trunks is coming back, and that character sells.
Yes.
People love him.
Yes, so like if you see for how long the season goes, it's mostly like 24, 25, 26 season episodes. So if you calculate, it might go on for like 168 or something. But it's purely a guess. It could be like 300, it could be like 72, but we don't know. I'm just guessing 168.
Right, I agree with you actually. I do think it's gonna be at least 168, surpassing Dragon Ball Z. So I do believe that as well. Now, Philip Andelican asks, how long does it take and how many people help you? Well, you're a one-man team, right? And then
it depends like what I'm working on. Sometimes if you're working with a team, it still takes a lot of time. Even if you're alone, it takes longer. Like I was working on this one thing and I had like 4 people helping me. And after
Nice.
6 hours, I'm like, "Are you exhausted?" And she went, "Yes, I'm exhausted." Yes. And then you're working on this for like 6 hours. I've been working on this for like 6 hours plus 10 hours before this. So it is hard. It is hard, and it is time consuming.
Sure, the passion is there. Wow. Top anime for you asks, how long does it usually take to sub an episode, and is it fun to do it?
At an average, you
Something.
can say 4 and 6 hours. And if it is fun, it depends on what you're translating. Some things are really fun to translate, like they use puns and some things that doesn't have a meaning in English. So that's when your level of translation come into, like, it's like a test of the translator. Like, how good are you to translate that thing which doesn't have a meaning in English?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
that's fun.
And I actually think I've noticed you've done that before, where there was no meaning and you
Yes,
kind of
just have to.
and
Yes, it's in the recent, for example, like in Dragon Ball Z Super, there's a line which summons the god of dragons. It's called Idio Kamino Ryu and Shoshite Negayo Kanate, or something like that, and Chonmage. Last word is Chonmage. That's the main thing. That Chonmage doesn't. It means samurai hairstyle
yeah,
of samurai. Yeah, that's
it was when they were doing the wish, right? They were
yes,
speaking in the god
yes,
language, and they was like,
yes.
yeah,
Yeah, that word is actually samurai hair, and it's a pun on please. So it doesn't have a meaning in English. Like, you cannot make a pun in English which means samurai hair. So it's like impossible to do. So you just have to get a little liberal at that point, and it's fun to
right,
translate lines like this.
right.
Yeah.
I remember that line. It was like pretty peanuts, pretty please, or
Yes,
it was
yes.
something really funny. Tay Davies asks, how long have you been doing subbing?
Subbing, I have been doing like actual entire subbing process I've been doing for like 1 year or something, but the translation bit I've been doing for like 5 or 6 years.
Wow, lots of experience. Samahawk360 asks, how long is it and how hard is it to sub? So more the second part of the question, how hard is it?
It is like, it depends. Like some lines, sometimes some movie or show, whatever it is, it uses very easy lines. You don't even have to read the script. You can just go by the audio and you can just write down what's going on. Yeah, but then something like this, suppose this line of DBS comes in, Chonmage, and you have to put in a lot of thought into it, so it gets harder.
Yeah, hopefully not too many of those.
Yes.
Batman asks, and you don't have to answer this question, but how old are you?
21.
21. Okay. Ladies, you heard her right here. He's 21 years old. Now, Ferds999 asks, I often see animated karaoke subs. How do they work?
Actually, they have a totally different guy for like karaoke. And these are sort of like text animated in the video. It's really difficult because you have to time every single letter. And the song goes, suppose the song goes Itsukato Gireta. So you have to time every letter, like E, how long that's going for, Tsukato Gi, each letter. And then you have to add in the animation effects and everything. So you can say that a 1 minute song could take you like an hour or two.
Wow. I'm guessing they have a big team for that as well.
No, it's just like a karaoke guy is just one guy, and he specializes in this. So
Oh, wow.
just like there's a translator, there's a karaoke.
That's true.
Yeah.
Now, Ghetto SpongeBob asks, is it fun to sub anime?
Sometimes, if the context is good, like if the lines are good, and if it's boring, then it's more like a tedious job to just finish it quickly and just get back to your life.
Get back to your life. Lord Ozuno asks, is Omni King omnipotent? That's a good question. We can both answer that.
I don't know, but I hope not.
Yeah, but in my opinion, I think he is almost like a representation of somebody who is omnipotent. Although it's not confirmed, we really have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm just going off what Beerus said, that he could destroy all 12 universes in an instinct.
Yes.
Some people have said maybe he's just a ruler, he doesn't have that much power. I'm leaning towards believing Beerus and Champa's fears. They were looked like they were pissing themselves.
Yes.
So I do think that he is very powerful. Just how powerful, we don't really know. And maybe not as powerful as Toribot. Or maybe the Omni King Zeno. Maybe Zeno is like a representation of Toribot, but in a character way that actually appears in the anime.
Yes, could be. But like Beerus doesn't have a personality which would like bow down to someone weaker than him. So I think it might be possible that he is strong.
Yeah. I agree, and that you make a great point there. He wouldn't back down to someone who's weaker than him. Now, Epic Face says, is Dragon Ball anime better than the manga?
It all comes down to preference, but I like the anime more.
You like the anime more?
Yeah.
I've seen. I'm a big fan of Toyotaro's work on Dragon Ball Super, and I think that his art style really captures
really, yes.
Akira Toriyama's like original.
Yes.
He's great.
Yes.
But I agree with you when it comes to moving images and having to. I think anime is always just more enjoyable.
It's just because like I usually don't get time to like watch anime and stuff. The only time I have is when I'm eating or something. So it's easier for me to just watch than read while I'm eating. So
there's a question related to that. We'll see it in a moment. First of all, Khalifa asks, is there a chance that Trunks can turn Super Saiyan Blue?
Well, as he's a Saiyan, and as long as a Saiyan wants to get stronger, he can get stronger. So I think yes, Trunks can probably if he works hard, unlike Gohan.
Right, like Gohan. I also do think he has the potential. There's been some fan theories that say half Saiyans can't go Super Saiyan Blue, but that's never been confirmed in the anime or the manga.
I've not heard that.
I do think he has the potential. Will we see it? I'm not sure, but I think he has the potential.
Yeah.
Blank Kazukoto asks, Ken, if someone wants to join your group or any other group for that matter, how can we go about it? So let's stick to your group.
I don't really have a group, basically. So if you're like joining any other group, I'd say just see who did a translation job or who did the subbing job and just look them up on Google and see how to contact them and see if their team is still active. If they are, they'll just, and you can join, you want to join them, I think they won't have a problem with that because they want all the help they can get.
Right. Now, I think what Blank is secretly trying to say is, hey, Ken, how do I join your group? Okay, do you have an opening, Ken?
I don't have a group. I'm like, if I make a group or something, it will be about like partying, not like working.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Exploding Monkey says, Ken, is it stressful at times to try to sub all the anime for the fans?
Sometimes it does get stressful because it's a lot of time you have to give. You have to give a lot of time to it, and sometimes I'm thinking like, oh, I wish I was watching that new Conjuring movie instead of doing this. So yeah, it gets stressful at times.
It's stressful. Yeah. Now, Superior Felix asks, Ken, what inspires/anime made you want to translate?
Actually, this was like a long time ago. I watched this episode of Detective Conan. Yes, yeah. There was I used to love Conan as a child. I used to watch it on TV, and I'd say I haven't seen TV in like 10 years, so that's like saying something because it was a long way back. So I was watching this episode, and there was a murder, and the murder while dying, he left a dying message, and he left that in Japanese. So what the trick there was, someone switched the characters around with blood and turned one character into different. So one name changed into another. So I was wondering if I had to do this in English, how would I go on about this? Like, how will I tell people that what's actually written and what's actually going on? Because in Japanese, one character turned into another. So one name changed to a different one. But I can't do that in English because I can't write a name like John and just write A at the end and turn it into a different name. So
makes sense.
Yeah, that's where I started thinking about this.
Now we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back with the show. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll be right back.
if you're tired of starting over, stop giving up.